Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty. And after 5 minutes, because I'm also doing this on TikTok now for 3 minutes, you guys get the bonus extra special features because I love YouTube. Today, we're going to be reviewing regarding the matter of Oswald's body from Boom Studios. Christopher Cantwell and Casalangida. I'm afraid I am terrible at pronouncing that name. I apologize ahead of time. Maybe if I take a little bit longer, I'd figure it out. But I've only got 5 minutes. Before we get into the actual comic book, we're going to talk a little about Boom Studios. They've actually done pretty well recently. They've been putting out a lot of stuff which has been getting very good critical acclaim and also selling lots and getting speculators paying attention. Basically, this comes from down because Boom is still not one of the major players. They're definitely like a prestige company, one of the bigger ones away from the indie kind of market, but they still don't get the market saturation that Marvel and DC do. They don't have as many things that can turn up on TV shows, video games, movies, etc. But when something hits, if the print run's kind of low, people rush to go and get it because everyone's heard how good it is. Then they have to do multiple printings, and even the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and eighth printings all become hugely popular because the speculative market gets involved then, and people are buying it because they hope it's going to be worth money, not necessarily because it's a good comic book. One of the most recent versions of this one has been Something is Killing the Children. That one right there. And these prices have absolutely shot up. That is an issue 2 worth £50. It's brand new, never been read, mint condition, or near mint condition, should I say. Now, something else that Tinian has done, not for Boom Studios, has been the Department of Truth, dealing with conspiracy theories, which is brilliant. Simmons on the artwork, absolutely fantastic. One of the characters in it is Lee Harvey Oswald. So Boom Studios doing a comic book about Oswald's body when they've had success with Tinian, but he's done something else successful with somebody else. I don't know. Could it be that this is just an attempt for them to capitalize on something? Or could it be that Cantwell has had this idea in the back of his head for a long time and he's simply striking when the iron is hot? Now, there's no way for me to know. I'm simply a comic book reader, fan, and comic book store owner. I do not have access to this kind of decision-making processes. And even if I did, I probably won't tell you guys. Or your, should I say, guys, not inclusionary. But we're not here to talk about whether or not this is just out of speculators. We're here to talk about whether it's good or not. And I've got to say it is. It's a heist thing predominantly. I mean, they're not necessarily going to go and steal anything. The aim of the game is to find somebody who looks enough like Lee Harvey Oswald that they can put him in at a certain point to be decided in the future of this comic book where it's needed. Now, I don't know if that's going to just be the body, hence the thing regarding the matter of Oswald's body, or if they're going to use somebody else to actually do the job and Oswald can go scot-free. We don't know at this point. I like the fact that it's open. But what we have is a CIA spook who's going around finding the right kind of people to do the job. I've said before in the past that I don't particularly like this kind of story sometimes when it's just like, let's get the gang together. And I've realized that my big problem with that is not so much that I don't like that style of thing. It's just when you're introducing second, third tier superheroes to this kind of story, it feels like the expectation is we don't know who they are. So we have to have a few pages getting to know them. But it's done in such a most basic, single dimensional way that it's almost not worth bothering with. It actually just takes page count away from telling the story. When you are actually introducing brand new characters for a heist, and part of the heist story is getting the gang together, whether you like it or not, that is a trope that's going to be in the genre, and it's just going to carry on that way. Because it works this way, it works brilliantly in this situation. You are getting introduced to people because you don't know who they are, and you're getting introduced to them through the lens of this CIA spook, who frustratingly knows pretty much everything about everything. And basically, that's the only bit that kind of frustrates me somewhat. It feels kind of like it's a Hollywood thing. Like, we need to get them all together, so we have to have this mechanic in place so somebody can know everything that's going on and get the correct people for it. That is the last kind of time I see this kind of mechanic, though. The rest of it feels very natural. Script-wise, dialogue-wise, it's brilliant. The characters interact with each other in totally fluid, dynamic ways. The dialogue is realistic. It does not read like this is somebody doing a script for a Hollywood thing. It feels like a conversation overheard, a fly on the wall, people talking to people the way they should talk to each other. It's spectacular for that. It's something that I've never really thought of Christopher Cantwell doing before. But if this is just a taste of it, it makes me want to go and check out some of the stuff I may have dismissed before because of genre stuff that I don't particularly enjoy. Art-wise, it's not the most exceptional artwork in the world. That is not to take away from it, though, because I don't think it's supposed to be. This is, as I said, a very down-to-earth, very realistic style story. We're not dealing with superheroes. What we're doing is taking a real event and adding a silly conspiracy to it, but the silliness of it isn't taking away from anything. It's not adding anything to the artwork. It's basically just down-to-earth. The example I'm using from this is just when you see a first shot of one of the characters. Nice full-page, single panel. And just from the way she sat, the lighting, the setting, everything tells you what you need to know about her really quickly. It is totally confident in what it's doing, doesn't waste any time, doesn't waste anything on flash and showmanship either. Sometimes I like a little bit of that. I've said before, sometimes I can really get behind an interesting page layout, but if it's not adding anything to the story, if what I want is just to see progression, I want to see the story develop, then just keep it simple, but do it well. And that is absolutely what they do here. It's brilliant. Check it out. That's it for me. I might do one tomorrow, but I'm going to Thought Bubble, so who knows how it's going to pan out. If I don't see you before, I'll see you on next Tuesday. Look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.